The sentiment remained the same. Justice for George Floyd. An end to racial inequality and police brutality.
My friends and I have kind of always been ones to fight for equality and against racism and stuff, so it's kind of good that we're starting these protests and everything.
But Friday's protest in Ellsworth had everyone on alert after the Ellsworth Police Department released a memo saying it was preparing for the possibility of armed citizens, quote, coming to Ellsworth to protect our downtown.
It scared us. Maybe some people were just trying to scare people from coming, but I thought it was more important for us to still come.
Elizabeth Cada Holmes and her 13-year-old son Jalen were two of a few hundred people who demonstrated Friday. Despite a sense of uneasiness, protests and counter-protests went on smoothly, with both sides preaching peace.
What good does it do to burn and loiter and steal and all that? I mean, it serves no purpose whatsoever. I mean, it's got to be brought to a halt.
I think everybody in the community right now is just going to work really hard to make this a peaceful protest.
The protest, led by Ellsworth High School junior Colby Lacasse, marched through downtown, culminating with a silent 8 to 9 minute tribute for George Floyd.
Just because we're a small town does not mean that people in our town don't experience racial oppression or police brutality. We need to stand up against all of the injustice happening in our country currently.
In Ellsworth, Andrew Badillo, ABC 7, Fox 22. Solomon Iliomade believes most people are good at their core, but admits he has lived under a veil of caution.
Even now, I'm scared. My girlfriend drives me everywhere. I don't want to drive anywhere. I don't really want to be near police officers. Not so much that they're bad police officers, but just the stigma behind police, you know, is really, really terrifying.
After peaceful and violent protests emerged across the country after the killing of George Floyd, he knew silence would only personify what black people have been experiencing for years.
I'm done being silent. Like, I can't do any more. The injustice is there, it's clear, and I feel like if I don't support and I remain silent, then I'm compliant.
No justice, no peace!
The Black Bear forward, along with teammates Vilgot Larson, field hockey senior Riley Field, and other Maine athletes, marched through downtown Bangor, making sure their voices were heard.
And I thought at least to give them my presence there would be enough. You know, I mean, not enough, but a start to something. I was most proud about how many people were there. I didn't expect so many people to be around, and it was very surprising. It was very good, though.
A London, England native, Iliomade came to America to chase a dream. On the court with Maine men's basketball, a platform he's using to help make an impact.
If you have a black friend, if you have somebody of color that you know, just ask them what it's like for them. It has to be uncomfortable for you to move forward. It has to be difficult so that you can really understand the day-to-day struggles that black people go through.
Caden Spencer Thompson always wanted to make a difference, but felt he wasn't in the right place growing up in Lincoln, Maine. But that has changed.
All during high school, I'd see these huge news things and I'd post something on my story, but I'm like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I felt like I could do something more. So I finally got down here and I was like, this protest 3 minutes away.
At the epicenter of Louisville demonstrations protesting the deaths of Breonna Taylor and later George Floyd, you could find Spencer Thompson making his voice heard.
I'm not going to miss this opportunity. I'm not going to wake up in 3 years and say, damn, I should have went back and fought. Because I honestly think this is going to be a big part of history, and I just want to be on the right side of it.
Spencer Thompson says the protests he's taken part in have been peaceful, but have escalated to the point where rubber bullets and tear gas have been fired in his direction.
Oh! 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 He shoot! Oh!
After taking Tuesday night off due to fears over increased violence, Spencer Thompson plans to return to protest Wednesday.
The cops are kind of, it's a touch situation because I'm not in their shoes, but I'm on the other side of their barrel, and it's just scary. So I don't know what they've been told, but they're acting very quickly. They're not letting us protest.
There's nowhere else to turn. Wait, we're on the road. We have to.
He's walked with hundreds and ran for safety, but he won't stop. as he strives to put an end to what he and countless others have experienced.
Rappers talk about how they made their millions. They have this one memory of how they got evicted when they were 6, and ever since then they wanted money. And I guess you can say the same thing. Ever since I felt that way towards me, I've always just been like, I need to do something.